In November, my supplement brand made $624,000, which was a decrease of 10.9% from the previous month. And today, just like I do every single month, I'm gonna run you through every little detail for what went well, what didn't across all the platforms, and break down all of the numbers because I think it's helpful, and most people in this industry are not transparent. So if you are new to the channel or haven't been following along, I do this every month, so make sure to like and subscribe so YouTube shows you these. And if you want all of the SOPs, the in-depth stuff, and you want to be a part of the group that watched me build this brand live, every ad, influencers, landing page, good thing, bad thing for 2 years, you can apply for my group coaching program down below. Now, with that being said, let's run through a couple of details inside of here. Shopify, which is the largest sales driver for this brand, did 407,000. Amazon about 215 before refunds. So 624 on the month. Just being transparent, it's our lowest month in 5-6 months. And there's reasons for that we'll get into, but here's the last 90-day recap. September was about $1 million, October was about 700, and this month was 625. And we can just summarize that up here. Shopify store did about 1.5 million over that time period, and then obviously there's Amazon as well. Oh, and there's a little bit from TikTok Shop too, but not a lot. So let me start by giving you some KPIs and walking through some metrics, and then we'll get into what went well, what didn't, and some more good stuff. So we paid our support team $4,944. This is pretty typical for us, kind of in the rough range just based on our sales volume. We had 1,600 resolved support tickets, okay? That comes out to a total cost per ticket. We track a lot of metrics, this one included, of just over $3, which is a little higher than our average. This does not include, though, the time that this team is spending on things like Instagram and Facebook messages. We get a lot of messages, as well as comments underneath all of our organic posts and all of our ads. So a little bit of an unweighted average there. The actual support ticket is probably about half of that, maybe slightly more. But we track metrics like this so that we know month over month if something is a drastic outlier. We can track the performance in our business and see if there's something that's kind of throwing up a red flag. The front end average order value on this brand is about $60. It's starting to push a little above that. We also offer people a lot of different quantity breaks, not only bundling multiple products, but just, hey, buy 2 or buy 3, buy 5 of the same product. And then we have a threshold where if you buy essentially 3 of our products or more, you get free shipping. So a lot of people take that. That's helped push up our average order value. That plus upsells, it's really a metric that we've worked hard on for a long time. So the actual weighted average order value that we've been seeing is about $47.50. And the reason for that difference is because we sell subscriptions. So a customer can actually opt to take our supplements monthly. It's kind of the business model here for a slight discount if you want to get on the auto subscribe. And we see anywhere from 15 to 30% of our customers take that option. It depends on many factors and the landing page and the offer and the product. But in general, a lot of people take that to save money. And so you can actually see over the last 30-day period here, we're a little bit above that 47.50, but it's also up 7%. So continuing to try to work on that because that's an important metric. It makes our ad dollars go further. Now, one other metric I wanted to share with you was subscriptions. We billed $158,000 worth of subscriptions. This is not including Amazon. Amazon also has a chunk, not as big, but a chunk. This is just through our website. Now, this is actually down $50,000 or so from the previous month, but you can see the subscription apps. We technically have 2 on there for just a different side offer we're doing, but the bulk of that to recharge. And yeah, I mean, it's down $50,000 from the previous month, and that's just because we've been spending a lot less on ads. So let's get into that. On Meta, we spent $112,000, which is a slight increase. Previous month, we spent $93,000. 5 months ago, I spent $500,000 in a month, and then $250,000. So it fluctuates a lot throughout the year for many different reasons, but Meta's new update really destabilized our account. So the performance has gotten a lot better, and I'll do what most people won't. I'll actually show you here inside of the ad account, okay? Because I think this, again, provides a pretty transparent look. We've been battling performance for a long time. Since Meta's update with the Andromeda update, it's been a little bit rough. And so our goal with running paid traffic here for something like supplements, where it's very expensive to get a customer, is essentially just to break even. I will spend an unlimited amount of money at break even. And we've been below that metric for a little while, a couple months. For many months it was better. So again, you get the natural fluctuation. But if you take a look at the last week or so of the month, you'll be able to see the increase in performance, like a pretty significant jump. Spend is not that crazy, but performance increased a lot. And we can just kind of isolate it here to the last like 4 or 5 days. Like again, just getting back up to a place where we're in a much, much better spot. Black Friday here, as you can see, didn't spend a ton at $2,600, which is kind of sad, but a 2.4 ROAS, which was great. So, you know, seeing better performance now with how I have things structured, and then just being transparent, I actually have multiple ad accounts now. So if you take a look, we spent 110. Last month, this main ad account spent 108. So actually, the other $4,000 was on new accounts that I started right at the end of the month that are working really well into December. So there's actually 3 total ad accounts now that will help with some scaling and diversification, so that hopefully it can be a little more stable when I start increasing spend a lot. So I'll keep you in the loop on that one in next month's update. Google. Our ad spend on Google was 38,000, very slight decrease from the previous month. Influencers, we've been working to spend more on this. We do a lot of partnerships with people, mostly on YouTube and Instagram. And then on Instagram, specifically and Facebook, we get the partnership ad approval. So we can actually run ads from their page. It's a newer thing we've been doing for the last 45 days or so. It's working. It's by no means a majority of our spend, but the small spend we have on that has been working pretty well. So just another angle for trying to get ad performance up, but spending money on influencers is actually very difficult to get them to like at least break even, but it's very high quality customers that come from this, and it gives us a lot of content for our ads. So that's essentially why we spend a ton of money there, and we're trying to spend more. Amazon, 215,000. This is the stable horse in the business. This is like the most consistent, coolest thing. I'll show you on the app here because I think it provides a really good image here. This is the last 12 months, very consistent. Amazon is trudging along. We've been slightly battling reviews a little bit, nothing too bad, but just working on, bad batch of product went in. And so we're doing what we can. But in general, Amazon has been a very stable growth platform for us, pretty darn profitable as well. So regardless of what happens on the front end, Amazon's been kind of holding down the fort a little bit. But we get a lot of benefit on Amazon from our efforts on TikTok, with influencers, with Facebook ads. So all of that kind of ties together. So you got to look at not just what's the performance on Shopify or what's the performance on Amazon, because then you might be like, oh, well, let's stop this and just do more of this, but they're actually correlated a lot. And so you have to actually look at the blended return of all of your ad spend dollars against all of your revenue from new front end sales. You got to look at that. And so a lot of brand owners don't, and then they end up making the wrong decision. So data is a very big, important piece. Here's a big win for the month that if you just want a little insight into my business, we had the biggest pain in the ass issue that was so dumb. I said it was dumb in the last update, and it finally got fixed. Had to spend tens of thousands of dollars over a few months and lost probably $1 million directly because of this, from like revenue we would have and should have had during that time, plus the lost subscribers, plus subscribers we should have gotten by running ads to pages that didn't have subscriptions. Anyways, it was a nightmare switching over to Recharge, which we went over there for data reasons. And anyways, we had to rebuild all of our landing pages, which we were kind of going to do anyways, but we had to do it not through a third-party builder. We had to custom code everything. Complete ground-up custom code pages, very long, 4 separate pages. Serious workload, took a long time and cost, but it allowed the functionality to work with Recharge. It was a really dumb problem. They didn't tell us on the front end. It created a lot of issues. There's pros and cons to this. We have amazing pages now with crazy functionality. They should convert like crazy. The cons, took a lot of time, took a lot of money, and if there's updates and changes, that takes time and money to fix as well. So not as easy to maneuver down the road, but you kind of get what you want. So yeah, that's just a big win that occurred this month. Again, if you want help from an actual operator, fill out the form below this video. I directly run the team and oversee 18 or 20 people, some of those VAs and part-time, a chunk of those full-time people. If you want to see from an actual operator how I'm building these brands, you can apply down below. I'd recommend a budget of at least 10 grand if you're trying to build a supplement brand and do US manufacturing. But you can check that out. We also have a school group, kind of get a taste, compact course content and whatnot, and you get a little call as well. So yeah, basically the summary for this month in November is very similar performance. Like Shopify was down a hair, Amazon was down a hair. Overall, that's really it. Now I'm just scaling up spend for Q1. I think the goal in December is just to get all these landing pages, the new ones, all 4 of them, rolled out, and do that across the 3 ad accounts so that I can have a stable base that's working with slowly increased spend, so that by the end of the month I can be back to spending at least, at bare minimum, $10,000 to $15,000 a day. I'd be really mad if I was underneath that. Like, we just need to be spending. So that's essentially it here. The Andromeda update, I talked a lot about that in the last one, just how Facebook has completely reworked. Like, the way I'm running ads is entirely different, 97% different. And it took me months to figure that out and test it and talk to people and work on it. And so things just take time. And every ad account's different. I could also use an ad strategist on the team. This would be a helpful role. Maybe if anybody's there and you're looking for a job, if you're a beast and you've spent many millions on ad campaigns and you know how to do deep dives on customer demographics and build campaigns and hooks and ad copy around that, that's probably a role that we're going to look for into Q1. But other than that, looking ahead, I fired our media buyers on Meta because they weren't doing very well, took it back over, and it's been performing much better. This is the largest lever. In any e-commerce business, hear me when I say this, it's not TikTok, it's not Amazon, it's not Reddit ads, Twitter ads. The largest controllable lever you have is Meta ads, period. And so that's the lever you need to yank on, because if you can get it to work, everything explodes. That's how I took this brand from 40K a month to $1 million a month in 6 months, right? Like fast, all in perspective. And then we have a new product that should release late December, early January, probably be ready early December. Got to freight it to our other warehouse and then finish building out the campaign, landing pages and stuff like that. And then a simple thought I want to leave you guys with, because this is just where my head's at. Just spend 100K a day at break even. Like I don't need a 2.1 ROAS. I don't care. Y'all can keep that. I just want to acquire customers at break even, because I know we have a great product. And at the end of the day, this is my true belief. If I can just break even and have a lot of people try our product, we will win, period. That's it. We take care of our customers. That's our number one priority. That's why we have a dialed support team. It's a little bit overkill. And we always take care of people, whatever they need, a refund, an exchange, a replacement. That customer comes first. And so if I can just acquire a lot of customers at break even, I'll spend as much money as I possibly can. Like, it's absurd how difficult this is to do. It's really dumb. But I would gladly spend $36 million a year or more, which is 100K a day, by the way, at break even on acquisition. Of course I would do this. I would do whatever's needed. Supporting the cash flow would be kind of crazy, but I would make it happen. And 100K a day, I mean, on this brand alone, I've spent $22,000 a day for a couple days in a row. We were at 20 for quite a while, like a whole month. So it's not that much of a leap. The question is, can you do it consistently over the year? That's the real many million dollar question. So I just want to spend a lot of money at break even. That's the ultimate goal of this brand, so we can get a lot of market share, get a lot of awareness, and have the opportunity to serve a lot of customers. There's one thing I want to leave you with, and I'll show you. I'm gonna have to blur a lot of this out, but just take a look at this order number here on the side. We have 98,000 orders now. Now, this is not customers, because 43% of our customers so far this year have come back and bought at least one additional time, which is a crazy, crazy metric. But we've gotten the opportunity to serve, technically, almost 100,000 customers. Now, it's not individual customers again, but between all the platforms, like, in basically a year. A year ago is when I started this Shopify store. So in a year, I've been able to do that and have an opportunity to serve that many people. And if you view it like that and you do your best to give them a good experience, I think that's how you win. I genuinely believe that. And so, we can take a look here at year to date. I think this graph will provide some insight. It's kind of a sad graph at the moment, but don't worry, graphs go up and down. But over $5 million just on this store, 44% returning customer rate. But take a look at the last 90 days. This is why supplements are really cool. Almost 70% of our customers have returned. Okay, like our purchases in the last 90 days, 70% of them are people who have already bought before. That's insane, and not a lot of businesses can say that, and that's what makes us super profitable. So, people like to talk shit and do whatever. Oh, your graph's dying, or you're not profitable, it must be super low margin. Take a look at this one, buddy. But again, my focus is growth, not necessarily profit, but you got to keep every metric in check, and that's why we spend a lot of time to track it all. I say this at the end of every video because it's true to me. Videos like this mean a lot. And back when I was 16, trying to build my first business, hating school, there wasn't a lot of people who were super transparent. So I make this for the younger version of me who is trying to find very detailed, specific information from actual operators. So I hope that you find value in it. That's why I'm here. And hey, if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them in depth in the comment section down below. You can follow me over on Instagram. I post way more there. I've been a little busy actually running the business to be super active here on YouTube, but I'm trying my best. So I'll keep putting stuff out as much as I can. Other than that, hope you have a great day.